I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Like Millett might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315. Checkered flag. Contact, and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short...
Just don't know where that baby of mine. Well, I just don't know. Have mercy, brother.
Lucas Oil Raceway, Indianapolis Raceway Park, or IRP, whatever you call it. It's one of America's premier multi-use race facilities. Constructed in the late 1950s and opened for business in 1960, the facility features a quarter-mile drag strip that's home to the NHRA Nationals every Labor Day weekend, a 2.5-mile road course, now closed, where Mario Andretti scored his very first USAC National Championship win, and a 5/8 mile that is hosted the night before the 500 USAC Midget Race, along with various USAC Midget, Sprint Cars, Silver Crown events, NASCAR Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series events. Although NASCAR events had moved over to the big racetrack, the Craftsman Truck Series is back this August. Tonight, it's the Black Horizon Truck Series, race number 1 of the playoffs, and it's next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Indianapolis Raceway Park, Lucas Oil Raceway. Once again, whatever you want to call it, doesn't change the racing action we have here tonight. Qualifying already halfway complete here at the Speedway. Some technical difficulties getting into tonight. We're going to call it a weather delay. But practice is over, qualifying in progress. Brandon Alfine on track. Cedric Ingram. Majority of the drivers already completing their laps. The 77 is Sam Fontaine, the fastest. Chris Dean is second quick. Jason Dalton, P3. Ingram's completed his lap. Zach Millett on his second lap. He's 14th quick the first time around. Second fast, his second lap, 22:105 for the 3:15. Puts it outside front row. Matt Telder on track, the number 1. Telder out of turn 4, crosses the stripe. Puts himself P16 on lap 1 at 22.579. Second lap is quicker for Telder, 22.318, ninth fast, puts himself into the top 10. Still some drivers left to roll if they so choose. Steve Miles, Ben Pierce, Diego Sainz, Cameron Ingram, Jacob Drift. In fact, only a 5-minute session with 10 seconds remaining. They are going to start from the rear, accordingly with their iRacing iRating. So that wraps up qualifying. Let's take a look at our starting grid for tonight. On the pole position for the IRP 140, Sam Fontaine, the number 77, with a lap time of 22.054. Some thought we'd see a 21 in qualifying. We didn't get there. Zach Millett's going to start to his outside, just half a tenth shy of P1. Row number 2, it's the 48 of Chris Dean. Jason Dalton's going to roll from the 4th position. Justin Bondurant, lap 1 legend, number 11, is going to start 5th with Brandon Alfine in the 21, starting P6. 7th goes to Joey Lattiser, the number 23 Speed Ranch entry. Lucas Strayer is going to start 8th. Matt Telder starting 9th. 10th goes to Dylan Glass. 11th starter goes to Luke Daniels. 12th, Brian Sutphin. Cedric Ingram with Gunslinger Racing. He'll roll from the 13th starting position. Luke Simonson, the 49 with GZ Racing. He'll start 14th. Tyler Brewer, the number 40 Brewer Motorsports entry, will start 15th. 16th goes to Trey Anderson. Alex Cummings is going to start from the 17th position. Ben Pierce with Ace Racing, the number 65. He rolls off from the 18th starting position. Steve Miles is going to start from the 19th spot. 20th goes to Jacob Drift. Cameron Ingram, 21st, the number 5. Diego Sainz is going to roll from the 22nd and shotgun on the field at number 44. He's got some work to do tonight. See if he can make his way towards the front of the field. It's your starting grid for the IRP 140 Black Horizon Truck Series. Field formed up on the starting grid, just getting ready to roll for 2 pace laps before we get under the green flag. About a 2-minute hold here before we start to roll. Make sure everybody's ready. Pace car does roll off. Fontaine and Millett. Sean Petchin in the stream chat, starting 23rd in Spirit. Sean, unfortunately, unable to make it tonight. Formation lap complete. One more pace lap to make sure everybody's where they need to be. Got a 5/8 mile distance here at IRP. Doesn't take long, even under caution, to get your way around. Pace car is down pit lane.
Green flag.
Down into turn 1, Fontaine inside of Zach Millett. Millett takes the top lane out of 2. .315 tucks in behind the 77 of Fontaine. He's going to lead lap number 1. That's Sam Fontaine. Zach Millett, P2. Chris Dean in P3. Then it's Dalton and Bondurant round out the top 5. Oh, trouble in the middle of turns 1 and 2.
You want something to drink? Yes, you'll take a
Got
Captain Morgan.
two trucks on their lids already here. Just 2 laps in. We've got 2 cars on their roof. I think it's Trey Anderson, possibly Tyler Brewer involved. Big time damage for these guys right off the bat. Let's take a look, see what happened. And lap 2 down into turns 1 and 2, right in the middle of the corner. Looks like the 26 kind of gets crossed up, overcorrects it, sends himself up the racetrack, and gets hooked. There's the big problem. He gets stuck in the wall. Brewer just pile drives him. That was Brian Sutphin. We'll take a look at it once again now from Sutphin's angle. back it up a little bit more here to see exactly how that started. See the black and red truck, kind of black and orange truck, the number 26, just gets loose in the top lane. Hasn't worked its way in just yet. Had it saved, but overcorrected it. Just a big-time tough break. Brewer gets in there hard. Sends the 85 down the racetrack. That was Trey Anderson. So there you have it. First caution of the night. Didn't take long. So we'll rack them back up, try it again. Try to get a long green flag run in the books here, get everybody settled in, maybe get some separation for everybody. Again, this is the first round of the playoffs. Of course, next week we shake things up. We start it with the short track, and then we roll right into a road course. And it's not even your atypical road course. It's the Indy road course, so kind of a roval, I guess you could call it, or a scroval. I guess that's what Indy's kind of a square, rectangle. Maybe we could still call it a roval. I don't know. It's the Indy road course. It's certainly going to be a challenge. Pace car lights are off, though. We're going to go back to the green flag here in just a moment. Millett and Fontaine. Fontaine's taking top side here on the restart. Second verse, same as the first. Green flag.
Green, green, green.
In the air, Fontaine with a good jump. Now back into turns 1 and 2. Millett tucks back in between Dalton in the third spot. Chris Dean has lost that position. He slips to fourth. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Fontaine out with a good advantage. 2 to 3 trucks between himself and Millett. Oh, we got the 11. Spins out of turn number 2. Justin Bondurant, no contact, just spins it off of turn number 2. Don't know if there was contact to initiate that spin, but second caution of the night, 9 laps in. Let's take a look, see what we can see from the zoom tower. You got Bondurant on the bottom and the number 11 Monster Energy Toyota. Somewhat progressive banking here at IRP, so that does kind of have a transition. Is there contact between him and Chris Dean? No, I think he just slides up the track from what we can see. Let's take a look here. Got a better angle from the blimp. I didn't think there was contact. They were close, but does Bondurant just go around on his own? Yes, he does. Tricky, tricky place. Bondurant's down and away. 5.5 seconds in the pit box. I'm probably going to assume that was fuel. Don't think there was any damage to be repaired on the 11 truck. Certainly not going to take tires this early on. You got 200 laps here at IRP. 3 sets of tires over the wall and max fuel load at 100%. Tires certainly going to be a much bigger issue than fuel tonight. Pace car lights still on. We're going to go one more time before we get the 1 to go signal. So looking at lap 14 for the restart. Well, there it is. Pace car lights are off. We are officially on the 1 to go. Next time by, we'll get the green flag.
We going green this time, bro?
And lights are back
Negative.
on. We've waved off the restart. Not sure what the reason for this one is. Obviously something going wrong on track with trucks coming to the line. Got Eddie Rose in the stream chat, watching for Zach Millett to get it done here at IRP. So let's try this again. Pace car lights, they're off this time. Let's give it another whirl here. Field working the backstretch here. Half a lap. We'll be back to the green flag. It'll be lap 15. So the pace car finally ducks down pit lane. This time for sure. Now we wait on Barney to wave it. Into the Geico restart zone.
Ready, green, green, green.
Green flag waves. We're back racing at IRP. Everybody clean through turns 1 and 2. Oh, Christine takes the spot from Zach Millett on the high side. Fontaine comfortably with the lead here. Just seems like he's on a Sunday cruise. Truck length and a half, maybe 2 at the most, back to the 48. Then it's Zach Millett in P3. Matt Telder's closing the gap. It's the battle of the car chemical companies. The Castle Pax Power number 315 and the number 1 with Adams Polishes. John Petchin making the comment in the stream chat, the start of the Indy Triple. What he means by that, well, we're here in Indianapolis, Indiana at IRP. Next week we go to the big track, but it's on the road course. And then the week after that, it's on the big track, but the oval. So we're spending about 3 weeks here in the state of Indiana. Even though I'm a upstate New York guy, Indiana's got a special place in my heart. Grandparents are from Monroeville, Indiana. It's right on board with Zach Millett as he tries to hold off Matt Telder here. Somebody turned out the lights on the backstretch. Nope, they're back. Starting to think some of these guys might be in conservation mode as far as taking care of the tires. Now that we've gotten a handful of green flag laps in, drivers are starting to settle down a bit. Certainly can't win the race here in the first 23 laps. We got 200 good ones that we got to get in before we start worrying about who's going to win it. Got to save your stuff. Again, no fast repair for these drivers in this series. Jason Dalton running in the 5th position, the number 2 machine. He's got Brandon Elfie out the back door. Not a whole lot of change in position up front here. Matt Telder, though, the biggest mover in the top 10 to this point. Started P9, he's up to 4th. Strayer takes a look to the inside on Lattiser. Pretty well spread out here. This is a good thing. Guys starting to get separated, though we are pretty tight-knit from first, I want to say, back to at least 12th. All right, it was a close guess. It was 11th. Luke Daniels in the 28th position. Tail end of this pack. It's up to the front. Fontaine, though, continues to lead over Chris Dean, Zach Millett, Matt Telder, and Jason Dalton. Fontaine, either he's way up the racetrack or that's just the line he's running. Battle for position now. Millett on the bottom. Telder trying to go to the outside to take the 3rd spot from the 315. Big wiggle on it too for Millett. He's going to have to tuck in, but can he? He does. Dalton lets him in. Again, pretty early here at IRP. No need to push the issue. Getting a report from Sean Petchin that Millett may have hit the outside wall. Let's take a look, see if we can find any damage. Definitely right side damage on the 315 Castle Packs Power Chevrolet. Uncharacteristic mistake out of Zach Millett. Don't see that very often unless it's initiated by some more contact. Seems to be doing okay, though. Hanging tough in that 4th position ahead of Jason Dalton. Going to have to spend some time trying to make some repairs to that truck during the course of the race. Good news is it's early. You can do a little bit at a time here and make sure he's around at the end for this thing. Tyler, I think it's Brewer plays. I think it's Tyler Brewer. So it's checking in from pit road. Tyler Brewer involved in that 2nd lap incident in the middle of 1 and 2. Went for the wild ride when Sutphin got in the wall and got hooked. Nowhere for Brewer to go. Check for some other battles on the racetrack. Again, these top 11 trucks relatively close together, but nobody really pushing the issue this early on. Smart driving by everyone. Justin Bondurant, though, he's trying to make some moves back towards the front. Remember, had that solo spin to put us under the 2nd caution of the day. Working underneath the 16 of Dylan Glass. and Glass still side by side. This is for the 9th position. Bondurant slides her on by. He's going to clear the 16. It's going to open the door for Luke Daniels as well. Daniels is going to try and work his way back around, put himself into the top 10 if he can. Not quite enough to make it pay just yet. It's tucking in behind Dylan Glass. He's going to sit still in the 11th position for now. Still see the right side damage on Zach Millett's truck. Doesn't look like it's slowing him down too terribly much. Meanwhile, Telder, tired of running single file, takes the spot away from the 48. Matt Telder up into the 2nd spot. Not too far off the 77 of Fontaine. We'll see if he can make some more moves here, take the top spot, maybe lead some laps. Haley, thanks for watching. Have a good night. The view from the lead, riding on board with Sam Fontaine, your race leader, pole sitter. I think he's led just about every lap thus far. Started out a little bit rough. Handful of cautions. Not a handful. Less than a handful. Pretty solid here ever since we went back to the green flag here about 30 laps ago. Battle for the 3rd position. Christine under fire from Zach Millett. Millett regrouping after some contact with the safer barrier. .48 defended well, maintains the 3rd position. Millett drops back about a truck length or two. Joey Lattiser, you see there in the 23 truck, having some slight connection issues, blinking in and out. Haven't seen it a lot. We have seen it. Got Harley in the stream chat, cheering on Millett again. Thanks for stepping in here, Harley. Appreciate the patronage. .45 laps in. Got 100% fuel though. They can go pretty considerable distance on a tank of fuel here at Lucas Oil Raceway. Especially with a couple of cautions that we had to start the race out with. Certainly some savings there. But the tires certainly going to fall off quite a bit here. We're not even done with the run yet. Fastest lap of the night at 22:39. Last lap for the race leader was at 23:09. Got Luke Simonson in the pits. Getting some nose damage on that number 49. If he's coming down to fix it, or if this is the first round of scheduled stops, he's just saying, you know what, it's time. No tires going on the truck just yet. This might just be some damage repair with that front end damage. Might be starting to overheat. Wanted to get it down there before it blew up on him. Back out front, no change for the lead. Really no change within the top 4. So Jason Dalton still in the 5th spot as well. He's starting to slide back a bit. Into the clutches of the 21 of Brandon Alfine. Truck length, maybe 2 between the two trucks. Harley cheering for me up in the booth too. Certainly appreciate it, bud. Second pack starting to form here from the 5th position on down. It's Dalton, Alfine, Lattiser, Bondurant, Strayer. Lattiser running in P7. Still connection issues for Lattiser. It's not too terribly bad. Once in a while you see him quick blink in and out and back in. 50 laps into this event though, we're going to jump out and get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Lucas Oil Raceway, 61 laps in. 200 Black Horizon Truck Series IRP 140. Fontaine continuing to enjoy a healthy margin of lead over the one of Matt Telder. 7/10, 6/10 of the second out of turn 2. Then it's Chris Dean, Zach Millett, and then the 2 of Jason Dalton. Lap times continue to fall off a little bit more lap by lap. Last time for Fontaine at 23:25. See the progression here, slowly, a lap at a time. He loses a little bit more pace every time around. Fontaine stretching it out here. Matt Telder and Chris Dean battling for the second spot. Less than a truck between the two. Zach Millett has slipped back to P4. Some distance back from the 48. Jason Dalton, same situation in the 5th spot. Tell the tires are going away on these trucks. Rear end of the truck dancing all over the place on exit. Trucks currently still on the lead lap. Last truck on the lead lap is the 19 of Ingram. First truck one lap down, the 16 of Dylan Glass. Would be the lucky dog if the caution were to come out. He has made a pit stop at this point. In a good position here, able to stay in the position that he is in. If not, work his way forward. Maintain that first truck one lap down status. 13th, 14th, 15th on back. Those drivers have opted to hit pit lane at least once so far. Our leaders from P9 and up, really P11 and up, not taking any tires at all tonight. Cedric Ingram kind of a wild card. It was an 11-second stop. Might have been fuel only, might have been repairs, could have been right sides. Hard to say. They're able to hold off the advance from the 48. Luke Strayer up into the 7th position. In behind Justin Bondurant. Remember, Bondurant had that second caution, that single truck spin out of turn number 2 early on in the race. I think it was before we even got to lap 6. Dylan Glass working on the 28 machine. Again, this is not a pass for position. Daniels running in the 8th position. Glass, the number 16, 13th. Still 1 lap down. First truck 1 lap down. Fontaine on a turn 4 down into turn 1. Almost a full second advantage over the one Matt Telder. Zach Millett still running in P4. Started outside front row. Mason Dalton running in 5th. Glass is going to work his way all the way up to the lead here and take that lap back by force. The problem is by the time he gets there, then the leaders are going to take an opportunity to pit. He could cycle around, but then they are going to be on fresh tires. Dylan will have to worry about his older Goodyears. Starting to see a little bit of right side damage on the 11 of Honorant. Not sure if that's real recent or if that's been there a while. Certainly was not from his first or second caution spin that we had here tonight. Didn't hit anything, just a simple spin. Officials a little early on the yellow flag there, I think, but nonetheless, we all got through it. Been under the green flag though since we went back racing. I think it was about lap 10, maybe 20, lap 10. So 70 laps just about under the green flag. Strayer battling with Jason Dalton for position. This would be for the 7th spot. Takes it away with ease. Very well done by the 41. Justin Bondurant on the pit lane. First one of our leaders to roll down pit lane here for scheduled service under the green flag here at lap 81. Certainly some right side damage. Does he stay and get any of it fixed, or is it just going to be tires and fuel and back at it? Certainly had the pace even with that right side damage. Yep, down and away. As soon as the jack hits the ground, we're out of here. 14.82 seconds in the box. No wasting time fixing damage. Just new Goodyears and Sunoco racing fuel. He's down and away. Back out front, Sam Fontaine still with the race lead. Bondurant's going to lose a lap through the cycle. That's all right. Everyone else needs to pit too. Only problem is if the caution comes out, Bondurant could be in trouble. A lot of these guys are probably going to try and stretch it as long as they can. Telder has shaken his bandit. 48 of Chris Dean. Got a full second plus behind him. Zach Millett still runs 4th. Luke Daniels up into the 5th spot. Fontaine certainly working hard for the most laps led here tonight. He's got about 87 of them already. be long before no one can catch him. Battle for position, Jason Dalton, Joey Lattiser. Justin Bondurant working his way back through the field again. Fresh tires on the number 11 truck. He's going to try and roll through and get a lap back the old-fashioned way. He's got a ways to go. Just lapping up now through the 7th position. Very interesting to see the change and the difference in strategies across all the drivers in this field. Again, we saw some opt to come down pit lane. It was lap 58, lap 60 in that range. Bondurant came down in lap 80. Here we are at 91 and still top 8 trucks yet to see pit lane. Tell you though, Fontaine is just untouchable right now. Managing the gap the way that he needs to. He's got about a full second on Telder. It's not growing too much. It's not falling off too much. It's right in that Goldilocks zone. It's just right. Last lap for Fontaine was a 23.25. Telder a 23.34. 48 of Dean, 23.38. Millett was a 23.29. Really the fastest comparative to the race leader within the top 8. Telder was going to fake the pit lane here. I guess he changed his mind. Maybe the next time by. Well, stays on the racetrack again. Starting to wonder if it's going to be even possible for these drivers to make this a one-stop race. I know we had a couple of cautions to start the event, so we're going to have to get to at least lap 100 for that to even be really part of the conversation. They do have a full fuel load on board. Some leagues will cut that percentage down to force some more fuel stops and some strategy. Just don't know if they're going to be able to make it on one stop. Just don't see it being the case. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's a long way to go. Interestingly enough, Dylan Glass, in the 11th position, he's riding right behind Matt Telder here. Glass pit at lap 58. Telder has not pit at all. And though Glass is right there on the back bumper, it's not being easy from the 16 to get on by Telder and work his way back up towards Fontaine. Glass wants to try and get a lap back here. The last lap for Glass was a 23.35. Telder was a 23.30 on 58 lap older tires. Seems like that they kind of get to a point where they just fall off so much. And it is what it is. Meanwhile, Luke Strayer on pit lane. First time of the day for the 41. tires and fuel for the 41. He's down and away as we hit lap 100. Just about to roll back around, but Strayer's going to have fresh rubber. He should have no problem staying out in front of the 77 here. Dalton into pit lane. His first stop of the day. Lead trucks starting to hit pit lane for their first service of the race. Just amazed at how far they were able to stretch it again. We went back to the green flag at about lap 10. We're at lap 104, and some of these guys have still not come down to pit. Coming up at lap 105 up on the board, Fontaine has led the most laps tonight and will remain as the lap leader. Unless we get like 8 green, white checkers. Don't see that happening. I think we're limited to 2. I have to verify that. Two at max. Fontaine goes by, another lap on the board. I tell you, if he makes it to lap 110, that kind of seals it. He can make this a one-stop race. Because that would mean he went 90 laps since the restart. Would have to go another 90 to get it home. Fontaine working some lap traffic too. It's going to actually slow his pace a bit, which is certainly not going to hurt fuel economy. As long as he's patient about it. He's going to go another lap. Top 5 trucks, the only one still on the lead lap. Jacob Drift in the 5th position. He has stopped today. He was at lap 11 just before we went back to green. It was for fuel only, so still no tires for Jacob Drift. These are the 5 that we're going to see stop here at any lap, any time soon. I think Drift may actually stay out a bit longer though, because again, he did top off the tank. Take a look at lap times for Fontaine again. Kind of bounced around a bit, but they are still falling off. Again, fastest of the day was a 22:39. Dylan Glass ran a 22:31. That might be the quickest lap so far. But you see how it falls off. Last 5 laps, it just gets longer and longer. Here he comes. Sam Fontaine from the race lead. He's going to give it up for some Sunoco Racing fuel and some fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles. Matt Telder inherits the top spot. Meanwhile, Chris Dean's going to follow Fontaine down pit lane. Matt Telder now your new race leader. I think this about seals it though. I think Telder's going to be able to make it all the way to the finish. He's down pit lane as well. This is his final stop, possibly. Depending on how well he can save, you throw in a caution or two in the next 79 laps. Should be good as gold. So Zach Millett has inherited the race lead. He's still on the racetrack. He's going to go another lap. Still plenty of right side damage on the side of that 315 machine. Millett has turned into a pretty good racer when it comes to fuel economy too. He's been really working on the craft of saving fuel throughout the course of a run. Many times he'll do it right at the very beginning and continue all the way through. The challenge is keeping the lap time at the same time. Where Millett's at right now, I think we're confirming. If he makes his pit stop, he should be okay as Fontaine goes around, get the lap back. That's going to be the challenge though, trying to catch Fontaine. Millett still needs to pit. Fontaine's out there on fresh tires, so he's got a lot more pace. So Millett's closest competitor right now is the 14 of Jacob Drift. 16 seconds in the rearview mirror, almost a whole lap. Still Millett and Drift, the only two that need to pit. And here is Millett, down pit lane. Look at him lock up the tires on entry. Hopefully didn't get the speed penalty. Awful fast, trying to get down to pit road speed, trying to gain as much time as he possibly can. Millett is so good at that. Zach Millett, 14.88 second stop for the 315. Good job in and out. See where he cycles back through as Jacob Drift, your race leader, number 14, Burger King Toyota. Dylan Glass, we talked about him. He was going to cycle back towards the front when everybody pit. That's exactly what happened. Expect to see him in the pits here in the next handful of laps too, but here comes Jacob Drift. Very similar entry to pit lane as Zach Millett, locking up the left front, getting all he can. Tough pit box to work out of. So Dylan Glass, your race leader here, lap 119. P2, Sam Fontaine is third. Fontaine's completed his pit work, so has Bondurant. These two are actually going at it for position. Fontaine takes it away with ease. Millett has cycled back through to P9. So right now it's the two of Jason Dalton, your last truck on the lead lap. Cedric Ingram, the first truck, one lap down. Green flag pit stops complete. We're going to jump out, get a break. We're going to go side by side so you still won't miss a moment. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marco Scarza when we were
back at Lucas Oil Raceway. 132 laps in, Sam Fontaine still your race leader over Matt Telder and the 11 of Justin Bondurant. 2.5 seconds the advantage for Fontaine over the 1. Zach Millett has worked his way from the 9th position up into 6th after the cycle of pit stops. Does seem that he does have the freshest tires within the bunch. Within the top 10, his pit stop was last at lap 116. Next closest is P2, and that's Matt Telder at lap 112. Millett, though, has almost 7 seconds to make up as he gets into now the 5th position. He's going to track down Fontaine. That's if this goes green all the way to the checkers. Certainly cautions would change things up. These drivers still have 2 sets of tires over the pit wall that they can play with. Because of this long green flag run, they've been able to save an extra set, or even 2, depending on how this goes. Glass playing some strategy here. He's definitely doing pretty well with this. He's up into the top 10, still running P6. Meanwhile, Brandon Alphine in the 14th spot just runs the fastest lap of the day at 22:28. But Glass, remember, was at least a lap down. He pit super early in this race. In fact, he's only made 1 pit stop, though. He also still has 2 sets over the wall if necessary. His stop came to lap 58. He's still running in the 6th position. Comparing the lap times here, again, Dylan Glass at 23:30. Fontaine on fresher tires. He pit at lap 110 at 23:01. That's all last time by. Alphine runs fast lap again, 22:26. In that number 21 truck, just running some hot laps. Some new colors on that truck tonight. Dale's Pools since 1985. Playing the tire game here. He's not worried about fuel. That's not why he's there. Certainly 4 tires for the 11. He's back in the running. Sam Fontaine camp certainly keeping a close eye on Zach Millett. Slowly but surely working his way back up through the field. He's currently in the 4th position. Gave up a lot of track position by waiting till the very bitter end to hit pit lane and get his tires. The advantage, though, is they're 6 laps fresher than just about anybody he's competing for positions with. Continues to work his way through the field up into the 4th spot. He's got Chris Dean next on the chopping block, but that's not going to be an easy position to take. As Christine actually gets into the wall there. Closer to the front you get, the harder they get to take away.
Right now, one of the closer battles on the racetrack, at least for position. It's the 48 of Dean and 315 of Millett. About a 0.4 of a second advantage for Dean over Zach. Really closes the gap there in 3 and 4. It seems that Chris is a bit quicker through 1 and 2. The gap about 1 truck length between the two of them. Take a look at it again down into 3. Millett really gets in there deep. Closes to the back bumper. Gets on the throttle a bit sooner. Gets to the inside off of turn 4. Nothing doing there. Can't open up the steering wheel enough to make it pay. Certainly got some pace though. Putting the pressure on the 48 here late in the going. Lap 148 of 200. The battle continues. Millett right there once again. Definitely see it. Strong suit for Millett, 3 and 4. Millett seems a bit quicker, takes a peek to the inside, tries to get in the mirrors of Chris Dean. Last lap, 23:21 for Dean, a 23:20 for Millett. Almost a carbon copy lap as he continues to ride the tire tracks of the 48 truck. Dean doing a good job defending, keeping his eyes out of that mirror. Just race the racetrack right now. That's job 1 for the 48. Laps continue to tick away here. 155 of 200. 45 remain. That lap, Millett a 0.5 faster than Dean. He's just got to find a way around. Battle continues. You've got Justin Bondurant working his way back through the field here, still trying to make up a lap. Bondurant took the opportunity to hit pit lane, lap 138 under green, lost a lot of track position. All right, Sean Petchin in the stream chat. He's taking off. Have a good night, Sean. Thanks for jumping in the stream with us for a little bit tonight. Now, if Millett can play his cards right, he might be able to use Bondurant here to make this pass. Bondurant's got much fresher tires than both of these trucks, but if he can open the door, Millett might be able to punch his way through and follow him. Millett's got to get closer, though. It looks like that might be the plan. He lets the 11 kind of get between them, but he's got to stay tucked in as tight as he can. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to capitalize on it. See him off turn number 2 here once again. Lap truck in between Dean and Millett. Bondurant in the 11. He goes to the bottom. Dean up the racetrack. Still got the perfect opportunity, really, to let that lap truck by. Millett gained some time back, but he's no worse or even better than he was before. It's a truck length between himself and the 48. While out front, Fontaine, surprise, surprise, still with the race lead. He's got a 1.5 second advantage over the one of Matt Telder. Telder with 2 lap newer tires. Still about a 1/10 of a lap slower than Fontaine right now. Continuing to watch this battle for the 3rd position. This is Chris Dean, the number 48 black and red truck. Another black and red truck behind that, Zach Millett. Luke Strayer, a bit of a ways back from that battle, 5 seconds to be specific. Rounding out the top 5. Tick tock, tick tock. Laps winding down here from Lucas Oil Raceway. Zach Millett is putting on a charge here to get around the 48. Dean has 6 lap newer tires in the 48. Was a little bit faster for a while. Wasn't able to complete the pass. Had a couple of opportunities. Was alongside. But now Dean, after defending so well, is starting to put distance back to the 315 once again. And securely in that 3rd position as he closes in now on the 2 of Jason Dalton. Dalton's going to be, well, he is a lap down here at this point. Bondurant also a lap down. First truck 1 lap down. Steve Miles, your last truck on the lead lap in the 7. Miles got a few wins this season. What's more impressive was we've run almost 150 laps under the green flag. Started off with a couple of quick cautions, and it's been clean and green ever since. Millett not giving up, though. Truck length and a half between himself and the 48. Still trying to close down that gap. Trying to find an alternate lane way up top of the racetrack. Chris Dean losing connection for a moment. We haven't seen that happen much tonight, if at all, out of the 48. Laps to go. Millett and Chris Dean battle for this third position. Both drivers losing ground to race leader Sam Fontaine, but I guess that's really to no one's surprise. Sam has been so dominant all night long. Put the truck on the pole position. Secured most laps, led by halfway. Continues to stretch it out over Matt Telner a little bit at a time each lap. It's 1.6 back to the 1, but still the battle for third. That's the one to watch. Right on board with Zach Millett as he's trying to find an answer to this problem. That problem being Chris Dean. See how much oversteer the 315 has on exit. A little bit of opposite turn there, a little bit turn into the right, keep that truck going. Watch it again out of the corner. He's drifting, he's burning up that right rear. Don't think Millett's got enough here. He's going to have to settle for that fourth position, I think. We still got 25 laps to go, but it seems that every time he gets close to the 48, either Chris turns up the wick just a bit, or Millett starts to get some heat in those tires that he does not want. Two laps to go. Still the real only close battle on the racetrack between the 48 and the 315. Dylan Glass coming through here in the 13th spot. His tires are a lot newer. Lap 172 to be specific. He's going to have to work his way back through to get those laps back. Caution would certainly change things significantly here at Lucas Oil Raceway, but the way things have been going, I just don't see that being the case. Been under the green flag since about lap 10 or 12, I think it was. 10 for the green, maybe 10 for the caution. Incredible drive for these guys here tonight. A little sketchy at the start, like we said, a couple of quick cautions. And really one of them was an uncharacteristic. We didn't expect it at all out of the 11 of Justin Ponderant. Spun by himself out of 2. Ponderant recovered well though, running in the 7th position. He is 1 lap down, but still within the top 10. First truck 1 lap down, so of course a caution. He would love that right about now. Get that lucky dog, get some fresh tires, and give it a go. So with that, I don't know that he's got a set left. He's made 3 pit stops. Very well, I think that first stop he only took fuel, so he might still have a set over the wall if necessary. Clock is ticking down though, 19 to go. Battle between Millett and Dean has pretty much evaporated at this point as Miles gets in the fence in the middle of 1 and 2. Steve Miles running in the 8th position. Just about everybody out here has got some right side damage at this point in the race. Except for the 77 of Fontaine. He's been lights out all night long. Put the truck on the pole position, has been out front for the majority of the race. Gap between Fontaine and Teller starting to close in. It was 1.6 seconds laps ago. Now it's 1.1. Teller is running about a 1/10.5 a lap faster than Fontaine. With that pace, if it continues, he could catch the 77 before this one's out. Fontaine coming to 12 laps to go. Little wiggle on a Telder off of turn 4. Fontaine has picked up that gap again now. It's almost 1.5 seconds, more like 1.4. Still with 11 laps to go. Fontaine just kind of needs to cruise here, save his stuff a little bit in case there's a caution. Might have to defend, but again, they have an opportunity. If they want to pit, they can, but it's a bit of a gamble. Really, the top 6 all have a set of tires over the wall, if not more of them. Top 6, the only lead lap trucks currently, though. Would give us 7 if we were to get a caution here late, because we'd have 1 lucky dog. That would be the 11 of Bondurant. Almost into the wall goes Fontaine, trying to keep some distance between himself and Dylan Glass. Glass kind of blinked out there, had some connection issues a moment. As the race leader with such a dominating performance, that's got to make you nervous. Wanted to steer clear of the 16, lets him go on by. He is faster with some newer tires. Nine laps to go, coming to 8 laps to go. Crosses the stripe. Gap back to Telder now, just above a full second. The leader trying to work through some lap traffic. The only benefit to that is every truck that Fontaine passes just puts him behind him and in front of Matt Telder. Telder's going to have to work his way through as well. The gap is shrinking, but there's obstacles for both drivers, not just the race leader. Telder's far enough back that Fontaine can kind of pick his lane and go through as he goes 3 wide out of 2 to get it done. He's got Lattiser to the inside and Dalton to the outside. That cut the gap down considerably, 0.6 of a second now. Telder's got to work his way through 3 lap trucks, though, all over the back bumper with these guys, trying to find a way through. Now he might go 3 wide into 1 and 2. He does. Do they get away clean? Telder out of 2, he gets past them. Loses a 2.5 tenths, though. It's still under a second advantage for Fontaine with 5 coming to 4 to go. tense moments here at Lucas Oil Raceway for Sam Fontaine and then Matt Telder. They both had a similar experience with some lap traffic. Benefit really going to Telder as he's closed down the gap. Still not close enough to make a move. Two laps to go for Sam Fontaine. He's starting to stretch it out again over Telder. The lap traffic really the only thing that was slowing his pace. Fontaine out of turn 4. Barney waving the white flag one more time around. Fontaine started from the pole position. He has led almost every single lap here tonight at Lucas Oil Raceway, putting on a clinic and looking for a checkered flag out of turn number 4. It's the 77 out of Canada. Sam Fontaine taking the checkers. Matt Telder, P2. Chris Dean, P3. Fourth goes to Zach Millett. Luke Strayer finishes in 5th position. Big win for the 77 of Sam Fontaine. Good runs for Matt Telder and Chris Dean. Telder especially started 9th, worked his way all the way up to the runner-up spot. How there's any tires left on this truck. One-stop race for the 77. Really all of our top 6, one stop. Fontaine doing his best. Kevin Harvick down into turn 4. And now the old Polish victory lap to finish it off. With that, we're going to take our final break. Be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us, folks. We won't be gone long.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Lucas Oil Raceway for the IRP 140. First race of the playoffs for the Black Horizon Truck Series. Sam Fontaine starting this one off with a blast. Get to get a word with Sam Fontaine and talk to him about his dominant performance here tonight. In fact, we got him ready here. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Sam, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Sam, congratulations, man. A dominating performance here. Put the thing on pole position. I think fastest in practice. You won practice, you won qualifying, and you dominated here tonight. Led the most laps, won the race, man. What is the secret to this place? You are so fast and so good at saving your stuff. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, I mean, no, the goal was just to get a clean race early and trying to clean things up, keep our right front clean, and that went pretty well early on. So when it went green, we were just trying to stay smooth, and it worked out pretty well.
We watched this thing here at the end of this as that lap started to tick down. How you managed to make this a one-stop race, that was impressive alone. We've seen a lot of guys do that within the top 6, but a handful of guys opting for 3 stops. Then it came down to some lap traffic at the end. You started to lose some of that gap that you had over Telder. Walk us through the moves. You went 3 wide there late trying to get through some lap trucks.
Yeah, I think strategy-wise, one stop was probably better just because you were saving so much time going in one stop instead of 2. You were losing 1 lap every stop, so those guys lost kind of 2 laps on us and had to make up the time. And the fall off of the tire were only in the 21st lap. After that, I could run the same lap time each lap. So on that part, that's why I think it worked out for us. And on the lap car side, that's probably why I was losing ground on Matt a little bit. I mean, early on I had to pass cars on the same lap on different strategies, so I had to work it a little bit more, and I probably worked my right front a little too much, and Matt was really good, and the 3 wide was a little sketchy, but it worked fairly well. So.
Well, interestingly enough, we did watch Telder have to pull an almost identical move, passing those same lap trucks just a lap or 2 later, had to go 3 wide up the middle, and he got it done. But after you got clear into some clean air, you were able to gap the one once again. So dominating performance, man. Congratulations. Very impressive. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, every guy in KGD2 doing a really great this season, leading in points, and again 2 guys in the top 3 tonight, so it's going to be perfect for the team points. Also all the guys in GLSR, the admins, you for the broadcast, doing a great job. So and of course Black Horizon for sponsoring this season.
All right, Sam. Well, again, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck next week on the road course.
Thanks, man.
Sam Fontaine, your race winner. Next, we're going to talk to our runner-up, Matt Telder. Had to take a quick break as soon as he finished up the race here. Hopefully he's ready for us. Matt, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. Are you with us? We're going to go with not with us. We're going to go back to him. We're going to start here. We'll go 3rd place finisher Chris Dean. I think Telder might be trying to get back on the mic here, so we'll do things a little bit out of order. Chris, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Chris, congratulations, man. What a run. What a great job defending that 3rd position on Zach Millett. He had some pace, a couple of lap fresher tires than you, was able to run you down, but not able to complete the pass. Had a couple opportunities to the inside, but you defended well and you maintained that top 3 position, man. How'd you do it?
Man, I knew he had that, I think it was 8 lap pressure tires, and I knew they kind of equaled out after maybe 10 or 20 laps. But I knew he was going to have the pace, but I knew the line he was running, and if I could just get in there and kind of cut down on exit, I knew, he couldn't go to the bottom line and make it work. So I just had to kind of keep defending that way.
A little bit more banking in the middle part of the racetrack here at IRP, so it's definitely difficult to make the bottom work. We saw that happen with Bondurant. First couple of laps all by himself, got too low and spun the truck out. So tough to make those passes, even more difficult to make passes on the high side, but it's short track, man. I'm surprised you didn't get the bumper. Zach doesn't usually race that way, so you end up with P3, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, shout out to Zach, man. I mean, he definitely he could have used the bumper. He could have been a lot more aggressive or tried a lot more, maybe to the outside or whatever. So shout out to him for, racing me clean and all that. And man, shout out to my team. Shout out to you for putting this on, and shout out to the admins and all that in the league.
Well, Chris, again, we certainly do appreciate you coming up to talk to us here. A little bit out of order. We're going to get to Matt Telder here. I guess he had to run to the bathroom. But we went back to him a little too soon. I didn't want to get any kind of noises on the stream that we weren't prepared for, so we figured we'd go to Chris Dean instead. Next week, we go to the road course out at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Certainly a completely different animal than what we dealt with here tonight. What are your thoughts on our second road course and final road course of the season?
Man, I don't know. Road courses, I think I'm decent at them more in road cars, but I just, I don't really have the drive to put like the super time in it to be good in an oval car. So we'll see what happens, man. Normally I'm good for about a top 10-ish place, and if I can do that and then I think pull out like a top 5 in the last race, I think that might be enough to advance.
Survival is key. Chris, again, congratulations, man. Good luck next week. Anyone else you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Nah, man, that's about it. I appreciate everything you do.
All right, Chris, thanks for talking to us, man.
All right, appreciate it.
It's Chris Dean, your third place finisher here. Now let's try to get Matt Telder. Hopefully he's all done washing his hands and all the good stuff. Matt Telder, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You with us?
I'm here.
All right, we got you. Came back a little too soon. I thought we had time, maybe not. But either way, a runner-up finish here tonight. Congratulations, man. Truck was fast. Watched you battle out early with Zach Millett. You took that spot away, and through strategy, a one-stop race. Get a second-place finish here at IRP, man. Walk us through your race.
Well, yeah, if Fontaine will ever quit running this league, I might win a race. That's the 6th time now I finished second to him. But, yeah, this track's, it's once you get past 15, 20 laps, all the tires kind of even out, and you're just playing follow the leader. And the only way you're really making a pass is if they hit the wall or get loose on exit or something like that. So having to start way back in 10th or 9th or 10th or wherever I started, I decided from the get-go, I'm like, you know what, I'm diving it to the bottom. We're going to burn the stuff up first 20 laps, and then we're just going to play road cone for the rest of the race or until pit stop. So did that. Thankfully, Zach hit the wall, got loose, got around him. I was slightly worried about that. And then I think Chris Dean slipped up a little bit on the exit of a corner, allowed me to get a run on him. And then after that, it was just Sunday driving.
Certainly was. You guys all had a lot of pace out there in the front of the field. Very impressive drive. And incredibly, after those couple of cautions at the beginning, you guys went like 180-plus laps under green.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I'm like, man, I am bored.
I need a break.
I looked down. I looked down. I was like, somebody's like, yeah, we still got 84 laps to go. I was like, you're kidding me. Like, I got bored. But yeah, it's like, because the thing is, I don't even care for this. Was one of arguably my most hated track on the schedule. I mean, like, I'm a short track guy, so it's natural to me. But I do not like this track at all. To me, it's a bland, boring track.
Well, I like it. So, but next week, it's not a bland, boring track. It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Certainly, you're a short track guy, completely different animal. What are your thoughts about Indy next week?
Yeah, bro, I'm dirt, short tracks, and road are what I do, what I kind of specialize in. So you won't see me in the top 2 or 3 next week, but I'll be, steadily in the top 10 most of next week. So just kind of a conserve. Next week's a conserve. I'm pretty decent at Indy and at a 1.5 at Chicago. So next week's all about just kind of maintaining the point gap to what I have to the rest of the guys, try and get the best of the rest. Payout is all I'm aiming for. So
certainly some excitement coming forward here for the balance of the season. Matt, again, congratulations on P2. Anyone else you want to shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to thank Sean and Tyler, for taking over GLSR and keeping it going, maintaining it. Thank you for coming aboard and doing the broadcast for us. You're a really great product. We all enjoy watching it back, stuff like that. Really good graphics, cameras, all that. Just thank my sponsors, my mom, anybody else watching, we appreciate everyone watching us. So thanks Black Horizon for, the sponsorship for the year. So we'll try and bring it home next week.
That's all you can do, Matt. Thanks for the kind words, and certainly good luck in Indy.
Thanks, sir. You have a good night.
Too. It's Matt Telder, your runner-up here at IRP. Of course, that's Indy as well. Next week is Indy, and then the week after that is Indy. It's the Indianapolis trifecta. Got the short track, the road course, and the big track. So we've got every aspect of racing really here, all in Indianapolis. It's what makes Indy such a cool town. But enough of that. We talked to our top 3. Let's take a look at our race results now that the interviews are all complete. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's never done that before. Let's try it one more time. All right, we got it. Sam Fontaine, of course, your race winner. Matt Telder, P2. Chris Dean was P3. A hard-fought fourth-place finish for Zach Millett. Don't know if the right side damage to the truck is really what hurt him or not, but either way, a solid start to the playoffs, though he's not a playoff contention driver. He's just in here trying to spoil it for the rest of them. Luke Strayer is finished 5th. Luke Daniels was P6. Justin Bondurant, P7. 8th went to Steve Miles. Jacob Drift was 9th. Dylan Glass was 10th. 11th finisher was Jason Dalton. 12th went to Brandon Alfine. 13th, Joey Lattiser. Cedric Ingram was 14th. Luke Simonson was 15th. Brian Sutphin, P16. 17th, Alex Cummings. Ben Pierce was 18th. Trey Anderson, 19th. Tyler Brewer, 20th. Cameron Ingram, 21st. And last but not least, Diego Sainz in 22nd. Both those two drivers 200 laps down. Don't know if they just did not take the green flag, what the case may be. Unfortunately, they were not participants personally here in the race product tonight, but they will be credited with the 21st and 22nd finishing positions. Thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate the viewership. Looked like we had a pretty good crowd out there. Some stream chatters as well. Sean Petchin trying to hold down the fort. Haley, of course, from Sweden, chiming in for every HBR TV race. I swear she's turning into our pseudo marketing director here, trying to get you guys to like, follow, share, subscribe. Speaking of which, please do that. Check us out on the website, hbrtv1.com. It's not much. It's just our logo and a couple of hot links for the socials. We're working on that. We're going to try and build that thing up and get at least some interactivity so there's something to look at on that page. But stop by YouTube or Facebook or both, probably both, preferably both, and do the like, follow, share, subscribe. Turn on the notifications. And I'm telling you guys, if you're in here watching this race, all you got to do is just smash the like button, hit it. It helps, okay? It pushes these videos out to wider audiences. They're maybe likely to enjoy the product, maybe likely to enjoy your guys' league, or maybe even jump in and run the next season with you guys. You don't know, but the likes certainly do help. It is one of the most important parts of the channel. So that's it for us, guys. Congratulations to Sam Fontaine. We'll see you guys next week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.